I thought that night was supposed to be one of the proudest of my life. For months, I'd been counting down the days to my wife's graduation from law school. I had worked extra hours, taken on overtime shifts, and cut back on things I wanted to just make sure she had everything she needed: tuition, books, living expenses. I believed in her dream, even when she doubted herself. And to celebrate, I wanted to give her something special, a graduation party she would never forget. I booked the venue myself, a cozy yet elegant hall in the heart of the city. I covered the deposit, the catering, the decorations. I even arranged for her favorite band to play live music. I imagined her walking in, seeing the lights, the people gathered to celebrate her achievement, and smiling at me with gratitude in her eyes. That was the dream. The reality was a nightmare. I arrived at the venue, dressed in my best suit, carrying a small gift in my hand, a custom leather briefcase with her initials embossed on it, because I wanted her to start her legal career with something meaningful for me. But when I walked up to the hall, I froze. The doors were locked. The lights inside were off. The parking lot was empty. At first, I thought I had made a mistake. Maybe I had gotten the time wrong. I checked my phone, scrolled through our messages. No, I was on time. Maybe everyone was just running late, but the silence of the empty street mocked me. So I called her. When she answered, her voice was casual, almost annoyed. "Hello." "Hey," I said, trying to keep the unease out of my tone. "I'm at the venue, but it's closed." "Did they move the party?" There was a pause. A small, cruel pause that told me everything before she even said it. "Oh," she said flatly. "The party ended about 3 hours ago. I guess I didn't want you there." The word slammed into me like a punch to the chest. "You didn't want me there?" I repeated, my voice trembling. "Yeah," she said with a sigh, like I was a nuisance. "It was more for my classmates, professors, and important people. I didn't think you'd fit in. Anyway, I'm busy right now. Don't wait up." And then she hung up. I stood there, staring at the phone in my hand, the empty gift box pressing into my palm. My stomach twisted, my throat burned, and for the first time in years, I felt small, like I didn't matter, like I was just an accessory she had outgrown. But the night wasn't done with me yet. As I walked back to my car in a daze, my phone buzzed with a notification. Out of habit, I glanced at it. It was a post from her social media. She had uploaded pictures from the party, the same party she had told me ended hours ago. And in every photo, she looked radiant, laughing, drinking, dancing. But what broke me wasn't just the sight of her happiness without me. It was who she was standing beside. A man, older, polished, wearing a sharp suit and an arm around her waist like he belonged there. The caption beneath the photo made my blood run cold. "Couldn't have made it here without you. Thank you for believing in me when it mattered most. 2 hearts #blessed. And she tagged him. Not me. Not the husband who sacrificed everything. But him, her lover from her office. I sank into my car seat, numb. I scrolled through picture after picture, each one worse than the last. She toasted champagne with him, leaned into him, whispered into his ear, while her classmates looked unapprovingly. I wasn't just excluded from the party. I had been erased from the story entirely. The realization hit me harder than anything else. She had been planning this for weeks, maybe months. That's why she insisted she should handle the guest list. That's why she brushed me off whenever I asked about details. That's why she always stayed late at her internship. I thought she was chasing her dream. She was chasing him. And I had been funding it all. The rage came slowly, not in shouts or curses, but in a suffocating silence that pressed down on my chest. I thought about every late night I worked so she could focus on studying, every meal I cooked so she wouldn't stress, every word of encouragement I gave when she doubted herself. All of it had been for nothing. No, worse than nothing. It had been for him. For the man she paraded proudly at the party I paid for. I didn't storm over there. I didn't make a scene. Instead, I sat in my car until my hands stopped shaking, until the tears dried on my cheeks. Then I drove home, placed a briefcase on the dining table, and stared at it for a long time. It was supposed to be a symbol of pride. Now it was just a reminder of my foolishness. That night, I didn't sleep. I scrolled through her social media again and again, punishing myself with the images, as though seeing them enough times would make the betrayal hurt less. It didn't. It only carved the wound deeper. The next morning, she came home, smelling a perfume that wasn't hers, her lipstick smudged, her smile smug. She looked at me like I was a burden she had to deal with, not the man she had vowed to love. "We should talk," she said. But I already knew what she was going to say. The graduation party wasn't the beginning of the end. It was the announcement, the stage she had chosen to reveal her new life, her new man, her new story. I was just a forgotten chapter she had to discard. I didn't fight her. I didn't beg. I signed the papers when they came, packed my things, and left. Because sometimes the greatest act of strength isn't holding on. It's letting go before you're destroyed completely. She may have walked across that stage and accepted her diploma, but I walked away from her with something she could never take from me. The truth. And the truth is, she never deserved me. Not my sacrifices, not my loyalty, not my love.